Hello, my garden friends. This is Jersey Shore Lisa from MyNJGarden.com, and this is my first permaculture garden. This is the side yard. I made a recent video about reclaiming this property because we had renters in it for 4 years, and for over 4 years, and they really didn't use it at all, so it became very overgrown. Was not maintained at all, but we can see the result of installing permanent agriculture on a suburban property and then not touching it for over 4 years. So if you didn't see the previous video, I'll link to it in the description, but this is my progress so far because we are ready to sell this property and I needed to clean it up so that at least I could label the things that were useful and productive, and maybe the future homeowners will get a kick out of them and keep them, or take them out, but they'll know what they're removing. So this is the side yard. This was completely overgrown, and you could see it in the previous video, and it still is in the back there behind those two giant oaks. But here I've left a large patch of lemon balm. There's a rhododendron I uncovered, a boxwood. This is what's left of a yastaberry that I put in years ago, but much of it had died because it was choked completely by what was growing here. So hopefully it'll send up some new shoots. There are berries on it, so it was still productive in this, what is left here. But I'm hoping that it gets another chance. There's some hostas uncovered here, some liriope, and back there is still much to do. You can see this is what it all looked like before. But there's a lot of valuable stuff back there, so I am going to take my time and get through it, unless the house sells before I can. These are two huge Nanking cherry shrubs with cherries all over them. You can see that they are at least 12 to 14 feet high, higher than I anticipated that they would get. But they're really tall. So this was the driveway bed, and it had this shrub in the middle. I just don't have a chainsaw, so I did it with kind of hand saws and stuff, and that was as big as those guys are, but that's what's left of him, so I need to take it out with a chainsaw. But there was rugosa rose, and basically the Nanking cherry was in this space that is cleared of grass and other things. So this is a beach plum. It looks very sorry because it was getting completely choked and shrouded by that Nanking cherry. So I've removed much of the dead. I'm letting it recover from this for a little while, and then I'll prune it some more so it's not so unbalanced and give it a chance to come back to life. We'll see. I know it's weird. I can't help it. That's who I am. So this is another plum that was a seedling that I bought years ago. And it's productive. There are plums on it. But it had a lot of shoots, suckers growing up from the bottom, and lots of branches that didn't make sense next to a driveway. So I pruned that up. There were some ground bees in this space. So you can kind of see them buzzing around the ground over here when I disturbed some beach plum seedlings that I wanted to pot up. And so I'm leaving them alone for a little while until I figure out how to get in there without making them really mad. I pulled out a lot of fennel that was happening here because it gets so tall, it's just inappropriate for the front of the front yard. But there are still some lilies, and I uncovered the prickly pear cactus. There's still a little mugwort I have to take care of, but I pulled a lot of it. So if you look at the first video, you can see the difference. This is the pile of what I pulled. And that's another giant pile. of what I've cleared out of the property so far. There's a lot to do. There's a rhubarb peeking out behind there. There's the keyhole garden, much easier to see now. This is another beach plum that I trimmed up. There's some comfrey underneath it, and an elderberry. Now I want to show you on this side of the yard what I'm working on. Looking a little better, right? Not too bad. This elderberry needs a lot of maintenance down below. I need to trim up all what's growing under there. But there was a huge mulberry here. And again, I need a chainsaw to get rid of that stump. But I took that out. And now you can see the house through there. That bit of almost completely dead in the middle there is a beautiful lilac. And I'm hoping that now that I've trimmed off a lot of the dead there, maybe that'll recover. If not, I'll take it down in the next couple of weeks. I've trimmed up the dead from this elderberry, and there's a lot more to do, but I feel like I'm making progress. Okay, I just wanted to share that with all of you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll keep you up to date on how the renovation of the first permaculture garden is going. Oh, look at that. There's some spiderwort, and that had come up right before we left this house. Just one little flower, and now it's spread. I love it. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Please subscribe and like the video. Leave me a comment, and I'll keep doing updates about how this renovation is going. Bye-bye.